At 11:47 p.m., in a small Chicago apartment, the refrigerator opens with the sound of a tiny regret. Blue light spills onto a plastic container. Inside is something beige, something with ambition, something that maybe used to be dinner, but now looks like it has legal representation. You don't remember cooking it. You definitely didn't label it. And yet, somehow, you are considering eating it. So you open an AI chatbot and type, "Is this still safe to eat?" The cursor blinks, and for one strange second, it feels like a little digital person is thinking very carefully about your container. But that is the first false answer, because what actually happens is much weirder. Imagine your question peels off the screen as a little paper note and drops through the blinking cursor into a hidden factory. Room 1. Your question is not alone. You typed one sentence, but depending on the system, the model may receive it wrapped with other things, instructions about how to behave, previous conversation, formatting, tool settings, maybe safety rules, maybe tone guidance. Your lonely little note arrives with chaperones. It says, "Is this still safe to eat?" And the factory adds labels like, "Be helpful," "Don't be dangerously certain," "Answer as a chatbot," "Remember the conversation so far." Already the machine is not just receiving your question, it is receiving a package situation. Then comes room 2, the room where words stop being words. The sentence gets chopped into token-like pieces. Not necessarily the clean words your sleepy brain sees, but fragments the system can represent as numbers. Is this still safe? Maybe pieces of leftovers, maybe punctuation, maybe stranger cuts depending on the model, a deli slicer for language. And now your question is no longer a sentence in the human sense. It is a pattern of pieces moving through a machine trained on vast amounts of text. Room 3 is the most important room. It has no nose. The actual container is still in your kitchen. The AI does not smell it. It does not know if the fridge ran warm yesterday. It does not see the tiny suspicious condensation on the lid unless you gave it an image. And even an image is not smell, temperature history, or a lab test. It is processing language about the container. Not the container. Now you might think, okay, but surely it searches the internet. Sometimes, not always. There is a little door in the factory labeled Search, Tools, Retrieval. In some systems, that door opens. The AI might look up current information, search uploaded files, use a calculator, call another service, or inspect an image you provide. But if that tool is not available, not enabled, or not chosen, the answer may come from the model's learned patterns and the context already inside the prompt. And even if the search librarian finds a food safety guideline, the librarian still cannot smell your beige democracy in a tub. Now comes the midpoint, where the whole idea flips. There is no drawer labeled answer about your leftovers. The system is not pulling out a finished verdict. It is building a response piece by piece. On a conveyor belt, the first pieces appear. Food safety. Depends on how long it was stored. Each new piece changes what pieces make sense next. Other possible continuations hover nearby, then fall away. Your wording matters. Is this safe? Pushes one path. It has been in the fridge for 2 weeks, pushes another. Please just say yes might trigger the factory's tiny alarm bells, because room 5 is the department of refusing to be too sure. For questions involving health, food, law, or risk, many systems are shaped to avoid reckless certainty. A giant stamp tries to slam down yes. A tiny inspector in an apron tackles it midair. Another stamp says no. The inspector says, maybe ask how long it was refrigerated first. So the answer gets caution labels. Check storage time, consider temperature, don't rely on appearance or smell alone, and if you're unsure, don't risk it. This is useful, but it is still not direct contact with reality. Then room 6 gives uncertainty a nice voice. The messy pile of generated sentence pieces goes through a polishing machine and comes out calm, organized, and responsible sounding. And this is the rabbit hole. The eerie part is not that AI might be thinking. It is that humans relax when uncertainty arrives in complete sentences. A paragraph with bullet points can feel like judgment. A calm tone can feel like truth. But fluency is not the same thing as contact with the world. The AI did not smell the leftovers. It organized your uncertainty about them. Back in the kitchen, the answer appears. It's cautious, helpful. Probably says something like, if you don't know how long it has been stored, it's safer to throw it out. You look at the phone, then at the container. The phone contains language. The fridge contains reality. You open the lid, immediately regret becoming curious, and send the container to the trash like a tiny failed civilization. The chatbot was useful. It gave you a checklist, it slowed down a bad impulse, it turned panic into structure, but it did not make the final contact. You did. So, next time the cursor blinks, remember, that is not a tiny person thinking. It is a trapdoor into a strange language factory. And if you like strange little journeys through everyday mysteries, stick around. Because AI can organize uncertainty, but reality still has a smell.